Hi, this is Mitchell Hudson again, and this is a second example on using JavaScript. In the first example, we created a single HTML document and we placed a JavaScript tag in the head of the document. And then we put some JavaScript code inside that script tag. In this example, what I'd like to do is create a script tag that imports an external JS file. So in this example, we'll use the script tag to open up another file that has the JavaScript in it rather than having the JavaScript in the document itself. Okay, so in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a script tag. I'll use the type attribute and set the type to text JavaScript. And I'll also use the source attribute. Okay, and in the source attribute, I'll type in the name of the JavaScript file that I want to import. Now, I haven't created this file yet, but I'm going to create a file and name it example number 2.js. Okay? And then I'll close off my script tag. Okay, so there we go. And you'll see here that I close off the script tag just like we did the other one. In this case, if you're using the source attribute, never put any JavaScript in between the two script tags. You can't have JavaScript in the source attribute and JavaScript inside the tag itself. If you need to add more JavaScript, you can add a whole new script tag. Okay, so like you'd add another script tag down here, and then you could put JavaScript in that. Okay. So here's my script tag. Type is text JavaScript, source is example02.js. You know what I'll do is I'll just copy this name, and then that way I can paste it when I create a new file. The JavaScript files are just plain text files. You can create them with any plain text editor, just like I'm using here. I'm using Coda. You can use Dreamweaver, BBEdit, any of the standard tools, Coda has an option here on the menu to create a JavaScript file. So I'm going to use that, but you could just create a new text file with TextEdit if you wanted. I'll save this file into the folder where I'm working. So here's my HTML file right there. So I'll save this into the same folder. I'm going to paste the name. So there's my file, and since it's in the same folder, this path right here of just the file name will be correct. Will point to this guy correctly, okay? So switching back to my JavaScript file, I can type anything I like in here. I'll start off with a comment. I'll say example number 2, JavaScript JS file, okay? And then I'll type in some JavaScript. Again, I'll just use the alert dialog box just to test this and see if it's working. So I'll put an alert in here, and I'll say, hello from example2.js, okay? And I'll save that. And then when I click on example2 here, I'll go back to my example2 file, and I'll test it in the preview mode in Coda. And you can see it says, hello from example2.js. So basically, this one's working exactly the same as the other one. The only difference is the JavaScript code is being imported from this file using the script tag and the source attribute of the script tag. So the JavaScript is coming from here, and we're importing it into our HTML document with this script tag. Okay? And then all the JavaScript is inside here. Notice we don't use the script tag in here, and we don't put HTML or other stuff. Everything in this JS file needs to be written in the JavaScript language to work correctly. Okay? So there you go. There's a simple example on JavaScript in an external file. And you can see my files in the same folder here. Just as a side note, if you happen to be working with this and you wanted to put your JavaScript files, let's say, in a folder, called JS, maybe that's a very common naming convention. I've moved this into that folder. So now it's in the JS folder. We can see it in Coda. And, if I was to test my file now, nothing happens because the path from example to HTML is not correct to find the file here in the JS folder. So, obviously in here I need to include that folder name in the path. So I do JS / example2.js, and now my folder path is correct. I can save that, and let's test my file again. Preview. Oh, and there it works correctly. Okay. So anyway, there's the very basics of JavaScript there, and here's how you'd use JavaScript with an external file.